Patrick, it's a pleasure to meet you. Congratulations on your new appointment as CEO.
Thank you very much. My mission was to transform the company.
When you think about the transformation of the last decade, it's incredible to look at it.
Automotive industry has undergone a real shift.
I'm more than 30 years in the industry. This is the first time you see so many things happening at the same time, also from a technological point of view.
The most obvious one is the arrival of electric cars. 15 or 20 years ago, this was a fantasy. This is now becoming a reality.
I think the most significant change in our industry is really the arrival of China as a marketplace, but also as an auto nation that is conquering the world right now.
Competition, technology, geopolitics, and consumer market changes, all of that is happening at the same time. So fasten your seatbelts.
In the last 10 years, we transformed the group from a traditional auto parts maker to a real high-tech company. It's a big transformation.
We'll have to deal with a complexity which has never existed before.
The history of Forvia is really characterized by reinvention.
Forvia is in perpetual reinvention.
I have no better words than perpetual reinvention.
The first real sign of the transformation which counted for the company was the CES in 2018, the technology place to be.
We knew at this time that the CES was the most famous show of electronics at the worldwide level. So it was very exciting for us to be able to show our products, to show our features, to show our solutions, and to be at the right level, because it was the challenge also, because when you display something in such big event, so you have to be at the right level.
So we needed to bring something. Our presence should be evident.
One of the ideas which impressed me was the idea of cockpit of the future.
So cockpit of the future was a big step for us, because using tech solution, being human-centric on the other end, we are able to propose new solutions, new feature, new setup for the interior of the car.
We were proud of what we did, but anxious if it would be enough. And I think the customers and the different partners we could meet there reassured us. They were enthusiastic about what we presented. This was a recognition we wanted to get.
It's very futuristic and very presented in a very nice way.
The experience was really amazing. So the most impressive demonstrator today.
This is probably the starting point of the transformation.
In the last 10 years, there is a big transformation in the automotive industry in China. First, the booming of the Chinese OEMs. In 2015, the COEM only have around 37% of the market share in China. But in 2023, and also in this year, it will be up to 60%.
That puts our traditional customers under pressure to compete, both in terms of technology, but also in terms of cost.
We had a strategic joint venture with BYD starting from 2017, and we had the new joint ventures with Chery in this year. The strategic partnership with COEM really support us a lot on the business development.
We are increasing our presence in Asia, in China, but not only in China, And so it is one now of the major components of the life of our group.
Today we announced our project to purchase 100% of the shares of the Japanese company Clarion.
The acquisition of Clarion Electronic in Japan was a very significant transformation step.
For us, it was key because we wanted to propose infotainment solution within the interior of the car and new kind of functionalities that were possible with the integration of electronics.
And Clarion was a good target for us because they were on this cockpit, on this interior field. So we spent some time to restructure the company, to redefine the product portfolio. And today, Clarion is making money.
If you look, what are the relevant areas today in our business? There's one which is very, very much into the future, that's hydrogen.
I was convinced, and I'm still convinced, that hydrogen will grow and that at a point of time, hydrogen will be massively available at an affordable cost. With this assumption, we considered what does it need to use it in the mobility area. Michelin purchased Symbio.
So we have developed hydrogen fuel cell for the past 20 years. And at some point we have identified that we were good at developing the fuel cell, but we were not good at assembling in mass production fuel cells. And we identified a startup, Symbio.
Just before they owned 100% of Symbio, they contacted us and they said, look, we believe that you are better than us on the industrialization and the scale-up. We believed that together we are stronger than alone to deal with these new technologies.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
When the lockdown came to us, it was like a black hole. It was the unknown.
The first thing you have to do is to put your people in a safe position. Make sure that you help them.
Some critical activities in the group had to sustain production. So we had to demonstrate short-term high resilience.
I could assess the resilience of our teams, the agility, the capacity to react strongly, but with a lot of humanity.
The COVID has demonstrated that together you can do everything.
Patrick Koller, vous allez très bientôt perdre votre actionnaire de référence, Stellantis.
In March 2021, the spin-off of Forvia was realized just after the creation of Stellantis. I was for a very long time thinking a spin-off would be a good idea.
And that's how we became, I would say, a normal company with no controlling shareholder, but in fact many shareholders with whom, of course, we need to interact on a very regular basis. The new independence acquired from Stellantis was good news because it allowed Forvia to acquire Hella. The Hög family, who owned 60% of Hella, decided to sell their shares in Hella. Patrick Koller was the first to know about this. He had worked at Hella many years before. He immediately came to see me and said there would be a terrific opportunity for us. They would help transform Forvia.
I convinced my colleagues to fly in the middle of August to Lippstadt, a very important city for the history of Hella and for the family, and have a long day of discussions to convince them we were the better partners for Hella, and we succeeded. But sometimes you have to not remain on figures, papers. You have to go and convince. This is what we did.
This acquisition of Hella has been probably the most transformative action that took place in the last 20 years.
It was the idea to minimize the dependence on the clean emissions division with the reduction of the petrol engines, and on the other side, to grow on the promising future of electronics in the car industry. So by acquiring Hella, we killed two birds with one stone. We acquired both the classic lighting division of Hella and the electronics division. So it was a double move.
The fit between Hella and us was perfect. This is happening once in your lifetime, yeah?
So it's a historical deal in our industry, not only in the life of our company.
When you think about it, we have created a brand in 4 months. So Forvia, the name, it's a combination of for and via. For, as you understand, forward, and via for the way. The idea was we want to pave the way, to lead the way for a safer, affordable, sustainable mobility for all. And we defined the mission. We pioneer technologies, because tech is at the heart of what we do, obviously. We pioneer technology for mobility experiences that matter to people. And that matter to people is the important part of our mission. Then you give a sense of purpose to your employees, to your people. You need also to understand what you want to do together. And these are the values.
We are talking about drive, we are talking about accountability, we are talking about teamwork, we are talking about respect, we are talking about agility, and finally, we are talking about open-mindedness. What we need is a culture where very diverse people around the world will be able to work together efficiently in order to go for the progress and the transformation.
When you think about mobility and when you think also about climate change, mobility is a responsibility. It represents nearly a quarter of global CO2 emission. So we think we have a role to play.
We do not have the ambition to change the world, but at least we have the ambition to contribute, and each time where it is possible, to contribute positively to this.
Without a sustainability approach, you are not in the game. This, I believe, was extremely well understood by the organizations.
We defined a strategy which is very ambitious. It's a huge transformation. It means that we need to transform the way we operate with energy efficiency, the use of renewable energies, the way we produce, the way we design our product to make them lighter, with less materials and better materials. This is the aim of Materiact, for example.
Materiact is a good example to show that we go for CO2 neutrality for real. We do it ourselves and we act and we invest and so on. And we had to readjust. So it is a kind of startup mode where we need to revisit your business model. We make sure that we master our destiny somehow because we are sure that we will have the right material in our parts because we create it ourselves. And it's definitely also inspiring the rest of the industry.
With Forvia, we have been working on some kind of a concept car where we were trying to look at cradle-to-grave, impact of that specific product and reduce compared to an average European car by 90%, which is kind of a miracle. And in that case, Forvia was one of the suppliers that helped us in, kind of materializing this idea.
My pride is that in this fight, we are not in the pack, we are one of the leaders, we are one of the pioneers. And that makes all of us, including me, very proud.
The foundation is the continuity of the sustainability commitments that we have within Forvia. The objective is to capitalize on the expertise, the know-how, the talent, the energy, the desire to act within the company to have an impact for the society.
What I like when I look at Forvia today, there's a lot of reinvention that's happening in fields that are really enabling our future. It shows a great deal of responsibility for society, for our planet, and it shows a lot of dedication when it comes to the implementation.
You know, 70% of the cost of a car is in the hands of supplier. A lot of the competitive depends from the quality of the work done, the quality of the relationship, the quality of the plan. We are basically on the same boat now. So what we have tried to do at Renault is to rebuild a more profound, intimate relationship with some suppliers. Forvia is one of them. And to get out of just a transactional relation, but trying to do things together, to co-develop, to co-innovate, etc., etc.
The landscape of our customers has been profound, reshaping the way we should collaborate with them. They indeed heighten their expectation. They are expecting from us now to be more flexible, to be very proactive in problem solving. I give you an example. For seats, we had to spend, when I joined Forvia, maybe more than 30 months to develop a seat. Today, in 30 months with some customers, we're doing 3 developments, 3 cars.
To be at benchmark level, you need processes basically which are used commonly on a worldwide basis, where you can reach excellency in industrial, in manufacturing, towards being, of course, competitive in the market. More and more, I think industry is tendency going to more automated, connected plants, which are basically enabling you to be in predictivity, quality, maintenance, but also in assistant production. And therefore, we have redesigned the new Forvia Excellence System.
When I look back at what was done in the past 10 years or so, I think the most important achievement is the quality of the teams that have been assembled by Forvia across the world.
I would say that in this company there is no resistance to change, provided the fact you explain to the people what are the objectives, what are the levers to activate, and that they understand what their role can be. This is the permanent capability to face challenge, to solve issues.
The name of the game is cash. So it's very important that for the coming years, teams of Forvia work on getting a better free cash flow, on reducing the debt, and on making sure that our developments, our innovations remain strong in order to get some pricing power.
The company is today the 7th major supplier in the industry. There are not as many suppliers which have a global ambition, and Forvia is definitely one amongst them.
When I look now to the group, I say, wow, we did it.
What you will remember when you live an organization are the people. You have spent so much time with these people. You went through battles, difficulties, you know. I do recognize the quality of the teams, their resilience, their fighting spirit, their entrepreneurship, their capability, you know, to accept changes at a very high frequency. It's very clear that what allowed all of that are the people.
That makes me so confident when I get at the helm of Forvia that there's a strong trait of being able to reinvent. So if we can move that forward into the next 10 years, there is no limits to the development of the group.